Hey, how's it going, everyone? Gonna do my weekly review. I know it's Friday. I usually wait until the last minute on Sunday, and that's why I'm doing it now, because by the time Sunday rolls around, I just want to do nothing. I want to do nothing at all. So, gold and silver picked up quite a bit this week. Very, very nice. Nice reversals on gold and silver. Let's start off with the dollar. The dollar on the weekly popped the 8, the 13, came back into the 13 for support. You can see on the daily, the support is riding there. You can see the reverse head and shoulders across the 34 back into the 34. Notice the falling star into support. One of two things are going to happen next week. This is going to get rejected, crossing back below the 34, back into some lows here or previous highs. Could a right shoulder sling back come all the way back down to 91.50 without breaking that pattern? The stronger the pattern, the less the retracement. But a lot of times they will sling this back as far as it can, shake everybody out, and then whipsaw your ass right back out. So you can see on the weekly a close below above support. And I do believe this is going to either come back in a little bit. It's going to break previous highs and run up to the 34. I'm waiting to see the 8 cross over the 13 before that happens. So I'm bullish on the dollar for the interim. But you see on the weekly or the monthly chart, I mean, all it's going to do is bearish retrace back into resistance. So that 34 on the weekly is resistance. So watch for a rejection, and then it'll have to come back down into support. Right now, it is making a bottom, and it's going to make a run for the monthly chart retracement. It's going to run back into the 34 for a nice bearish retrace. I would call this the bear trap. And the best time to go short is at resistance. So we'll wait until this happens. Looks like 96 is resistance on the way back up for the dollar. Just something to notice. It's bullish for the daily, bearish for the monthly. So long term, it's bearish. S&P, let's see what's going on here. I think we made a new high this week. No reversal bar. Again, on the Monday open, look for that double top to form. Weekly, actually weekly, we got to close on the spinning top. Little indecision there. Daily, I'm noticing a pattern, just very slight. It is a wedge, a rising wedge, which is very bearish. Look for a whipsaw outside the pattern and then whip back down. This thing is totally parabolic. I mean, what do you got to say? I mean, there is absolutely no support up there to hold this thing up. None. Previous highs down below 2,500, all the way back down to 2,480. It's got a long ways to drop. The pattern will break. That is a bearish pattern. Patterns do fail, and I've been made wrong plenty of times on this fake rise. But things always come to a head. I'm always looking for an exhaustion move as well. I haven't seen that yet. The exhaustion move, like this one here, the big giant spike, the long wicks. I haven't seen that, so when it gets ready to move, it'll have a volatility move. Hopefully a nice spike above the pattern and then break on through, losing all sorts of momentum on the downside. I don't see how it's doing it. It is though, you know, what I gotta do. The VIX still on its lows. Still looking for volatility out there. There is none. But it is gearing up for something. This is a nice accumulation in this bullish consolidation into resistance, back into support of the bullish consolidation. I'm waiting for a 10-5 and above and a little breakout here. It should get violent. It is gearing up for something. Again, parabolic. It looks like daily close, a little indecision spinning top. I got previous highs down at 22.5 in and around. No reversal bar to speak of. I have a small wick. It didn't close on its highs. Again, watch for the double top again, but it won't be perfect because of the wick. Again, this is parabolic. It's gone straight up. There's absolutely no support up here holding it. I got previous highs, thin line of support at 22.156 and 21.182. Below that, it'll come all the way down to 18.5. Absolutely no support up there. I have no idea how it could be that high. Monthly close so far, it's closing on its highs. Look how steep that is. Just straight up. It's definitely parabolic. And I was gonna mention, when someone says Bitcoin is in a bubble, just consider the fact that this has gone up for a measured move, come back into a consolidation, broke that measured move, came back into a measured move, broke that measured move. It's consolidating after every major move. That is not the same as the Dow and the S&P. These are very small consolidations into support, very small. Bitcoin has huge consolidation phases. There's a consolidation here before the big move. There's a bigger consolidation here, way down there. It's just pretty lame. I would watch for a volatility move, a spike high, an exhaustion move. I would look for something soon. There's no way it can just keep going straight up. The rubber band is extended as far as possible. It's got to snap back sometime. It could be a bigger bearish market on a weekly chart. I mean, this can go for a few years, I think, on a, once it crosses that 34 on the downside. It looks nasty, I don't know. The NASDAQ, I thought it was going to break down because we had some highs dealing with. Now it broke the highs. Once it broke the highs, then we're a whole new ball game because now we have support. No signal on the weekly for any kind of reversal. Let's see what's going on. That looks like accumulation. Higher lows, higher highs. So maybe it's not done yet. I'm screaming hyperinflation everywhere. I think inflation's getting out of hand and they got to do something about it. Actually, I don't think they can do anything about it. That's the problem. Crude, weekly close. We noticed the bigger pattern on crude. The reverse head and shoulders, right? Came all the way in for that right shoulder. Now it's been climbing outside that. We head faked across previous highs, had a little head fake, back into support. I'm looking for a 1-2 punch across support. on this big boy. I think it's going to take out 60. See the head fake came back into support and then the 2-bar reversal. Got to take out the previous highs, take out that wick, no problem. I still have resistance at 60. Once it pops 60, we should get 70, right? Into the next previous lows. Once it breaks into the range, could ride up that range into the next, I believe it's a $10 increment there. USD, Japanese yen trade. We did hit resistance. Hit resistance coming back into support. 2-bar reversal, a little whip, 2-bar reversal. So it crossed below support, passed through resistance on the upside. An outside day candle, 2-bar reversal, over the 34, back into the 34. I'm looking for a 2-bar reversal on the Monday open. And I'm believing this is going to be bullish if it holds support and break outside that pattern. Gold, gold, closed above 1300. Yippee, that's a good sign. We need to stay above. We still have resistance, obviously. You can see that EMA 8 sitting right there, which represents previous lows. We still have a lot of work to do, but our emotional spot on the chart was 1300. Look at the hammer coming across, last week's hammer, previous break, all the way up. Nice run up. Still have a lot of work to do. Looks like 1360 is a good mark for our previous high breaks. And then we're off to the races. Next previous low is in and around 1510. I do have a meeting line in and around 1478. But easy enough, why don't we just take a measured move? That puts us in the 16 range. I'm looking for previous high breaks. Confirm that downward pattern. And then break outside of here. I'm not sure if measured moves in play here. I'm going to have to keep, I'm going to have to say that previous lows is going to outwit any kind of measured move. Easy peasy. That is a weekly chart. Let's see how we did on the close. Oh, into resistance on the close. So here's what I'm looking at. I'm thinking a quick reversal on Monday, Tuesday, crack across unless we get a nice move. Remember, the V bottoms don't work. All right? V bottoms don't work. V bottom. I'm looking for an opposing point. Find trend so that we can move forward. The bouncing ball. Let's see here. I've got a left shoulder, head, maybe a right shoulder, and then swing back. Look at the 8 crossing over. I'm suspecting that we will get a retracement back into support. We're closing at resistance. So I'm looking for a little rejection and then a pop back. 2-bar reversal somewhere along support. Make sure we hold support. Otherwise, it does not work. Nice run up into the 34 on the daily. Good job. Good job. Things are working. Now the bigger pattern on the monthly is just a real nice bottom pattern. Higher lows, previous highs, that flat top break is coming. That monthly, look at that monthly. Into resistance, back into support, 2-bar, the 1-2 punch. into resistance, back into support. This month should bust through. We still have how many days? Let's see. We got 2 more weeks. I'm looking for a 1-2 punch, cross resistance. That'd be nice. Silver. Let's see how we close for the day. Silver had a 3 top here, broke on through. I'm skeptical that this is just going to keep moving though, because I have a V bottom. Remember that inverted hammer? Damn, never neglect that inverted hammer across support. How many times I got to tell you? Look at that. That is nice. So anyways, I'm looking for a V bottoms don't work. So I'm looking for a retracement, a bullish retracement to find trend so we can move on up following the bouncing ball. But nice move across the 34. Very, very nice. Lower highs throughout. Broke the previous highs. If I see a high level consolidation just going sideways for a few weeks, no problem. It is extended from its 8. That's why I'm concerned. The 8, its natural course of return. Very nice move though. Very, very happy. Let's look at the weekly. The weekly has the huge reverse, head and shoulders, and now the right shoulder's in. The right shoulder is complete. Looking for a run across there. I think a very short and sweet pullback. To gather its legs, try again. A little back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, pop. That whipsaw was key. The left, the head, the right shoulder's in. 3-bar pattern right there. Nice close. Closing above 17 was key. I need to get on a monthly, I need to get above 1850. Previous highs, previous lows. A little balance point going on right here. I think 1850 was the mark. Somewhere around there. Let's see how tight it is in there. I have support. The 8 coming across the 34. I'm looking for a 1-2 point. Look at that candle. You cannot argue with these reversal candles. Nice reversal here on the monthly. Huge. And it's been confirmed. 1, 2, let's punch through this month. The 1-2 punch. The bigger pattern, a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. It's really tight. The corkscrew is wound up pretty tight in there. Price needs to make a decision, and I think it's to the upside. Most definitely. Copper, let's see how copper's doing. Copper is still hanging high. Hanging high. It's high level consolidation time now. Going sideways. Huge move across the 34, back into the 34. You can see that bullish retrace right here, the stair step into support. The previous high breaks, boom, back into support. And I'm looking for a higher moves now. Look at that 1-2 punch across resistance. Into previous lows, right? That's a nice monthly chart. Nice cup on the U there. Consolidation right here. 2-bar reversal is very concerned, right? And then it just made a quick U back into resistance. So what are we looking at? I'm looking at a cup and then maybe a handle next week and then pop. Stay above the 8 at all costs. Very nice copper. Very, very nice. Very nice. I got a ton of copper. All 82 pennies and older. 82 and older are copper, if you didn't know. Find them in your change jar all the time. Not as much as used to, but still there. Gold silver ratio looks like gold's been the better buy for a few. But always silver, always. I got a head and shoulders top forming here. So look for a breakdown into support. Looks like gold might be a better buy. But still, 74.87 ounces per 1 ounce of gold. I would buy silver. GDX. Let's jump to the weekly there. That's right. Popped outside that pattern into support. Now it's doubling back. I had a 2-bar reversal last week, confirming that over the EMA 8 now. That consolidation was broke, came back into support real quick. Watch for previous high breaks in and around 25 and above. Be very bullish for everybody. 89, something to watch. Something to watch. I think it's very bullish. Don't mind me screwing around here. Over the 34, back into the 34, ready for a run. The bullish retracement's in, got a pop, came back in, 2-bar reversal, watch for previous high breaks, on up. Very nice. GDXJ. Actually, let's look at the daily, because the daily is where the clue was on the bullishness. Those hammers. Okay, we crossed over the 8, into the 8 for support. Broke into the 13, back into the 13 for support. That break and then come back into, made a hammer. That previous hammer has been confirmed on the weekly close, on the daily close, excuse me. It is at resistance, but keep above that hammer, and A is okay. I think we're gonna get a little boom time next week. Boom, boom, boom. It's gonna really thrust right out of there. Looks good. Again, the hammers. Knocking out that bottom. On the retrace too. Over the 8, into the 8, over the 13, back into the 13, made a hammer. Watch for the previous high breaks. Hammer was not confirmed on GDXJ yet. Nugget, same thing. Over the 8, into the 8, over the 13, into the 13 for support, bounced, confirmed on the close. Very nice. Can't wait. JNug, follow us in the morning, trying to trade this thing to oblivion. Same thing. Watch for the previous high breaks. Same consolidation. We worked this bottom like no other. Inverted hammer into resistance. Okay, so we got knocked out a little bit. We got shook out on that inverted hammer. But then it came back through. Over the 8, into the 8, previous high breaks. Boom. Into the 34, back into support, made a hammer. This is a tall tail. Watch for previous high breaks to confirm this pattern. This whole pattern will be confirmed when that hammer is taken out. Boom time. I think it's ready. AG kind of fell apart on us because it was consolidating for a very long time. Now we got higher lows throughout. Came over the 34, back into support, into support, into support. Watch for previous high breaks. This last time it came in, made that hammer, and now it's making that kind of sharp U. That sharp U consolidation. Watch for the previous high breaks. Looks like we need to cover this gap. I believe I mentioned that ends of gaps are huge resistance lines. So let's take that out. I imagine we will get a whipsaw into resistance, a little whip, and then back through. Momentum is to the upside. NAK tried to get over 2 o'clock and we finally did it. Looks like we finally did it. That's a daily chart. Weekly chart, you can see the previous high breaks very clearly. Oops. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, goodness. Previous high breaks there. Boom time. So closed above previous highs. We are in Greensville. I got a nice inverted hammer here. Look for resistance at the top of that at 250. Otherwise, take 50% of the previous candle for momentum reasons. Right where that top of that 8 is turned over, basically. Previous lows, 50% roll. Nice little point there. 277, 250, 277 on up until we get to the previous highs and then watch for a head fake. Long term, looks bullish, doesn't it? We followed this J curve on the last time, boom. 2-bar reversal, it's been consolidating, now it's on its way back up. That J curve was huge. Whoosh. USLV, I like USLV, I like silver, and I like it 3 times the bull. Let's see what happens on the monthly. It's getting real tight in here. It needs to make a decision. It already has a whipsaw. It came into the resistance and whipped right back in, but support held this time. So, which whipsaw is going to win? It looks like this whipsaw hammer came into resistance, back into support. Now the double back. Watch for previous high breaks. 1375, 14 into previous lows, right? 50% roll into previous lows. Could be a winner. I like this one. Always really liked it. Reverse head and shoulders on the weekly. Let me erase my crap. I got the left shoulder. I got the right shoulder. And now the double back. I think it's bullish for our next week here. Closing on its highs at resistance though. So look for any kind of retracement by the support. Make sure you keep support. Otherwise, wait for the previous high breaks. That is a nice looking pattern. Reverse head and shoulders right off the bottom there. Very nice. Look for previous high breaks at 15 on up into 16 into 18. Could be a nice runner. HL, is it coming out of HL is still consolidating in their pattern there. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's got a long ways to go. Looking for a run up past outside that pattern. Steel, everyone who was watching steel to this morning. Looks like we might have a break. So weekly close. Very nice. The smackdown, the accumulation, and the consolidation all the way up over the 8, into the 8, into the 13, over the 13, back in. Look at the inverted hammer right here. Huge inverted hammer. Take out that inverted hammer on the top side. Into the 34, into support, 2-bar pattern. Now we're on the rise. Look for steel to really take a hike up. They pummeled this thing, and then it hasn't stopped on the incline. It's going to have a nice pop. Very, very nice. CLF is an iron ore. I like CLF the last time it ran. It has that J curve. Oops. See the J curve, pop, ping back into support, hit resistance, came back into support again. Don't mind my crap. Let me erase my crap. Watch for previous high breaks. Previous high, previous low, nice little balance point going on here. But then I got resistance at the next previous low. And then on up. It should come out of this bottom pattern, no problem. It's been in a bullish consolidation phase for a while. Popped at 34, came back into support, 2-bar pattern, into resistance, back into support. Watch the double back. Looks like an 850 and above previous high break. And then you run up to the next previous high, previous low area. And then do it again. Uranium, I think the uraniums have fallen off the map for me. I don't know what is going on in this crap. Such a small market, it's really hard to gauge if this is going to fall over. I don't like that flat bottom at all on that monthly chart. I don't think it's going to hold. It doesn't feel like it. It broke previous lows. I got a 2-bar reversal holding it up. I got a nice spike low holding it up. I don't think it looks that great. That's URN, UEC. That one broke down. And this was a reverse head and shoulders, and the consolidation did not hold. It did hold the double bottom down here at the last stitch effort on a stitch, on a thread. Nothing else holding it up. So is this the bearish retrace back into resistance, or are we forming a hammer off a double bottom? The 1-2 bottom. I do have a reverse head and shoulders here, but the right shoulder kind of fell over. So the whole pattern's collapsing, but it did get saved at the last moment. Closing a hammer. That hammer has to be confirmed on the upside though. PRELF, I lost control of this. I was not watching for another move. I figured it ran too hard and fast, but it didn't run too hard and fast yet because it had taken another leg up. So look for a consolidation at least. I would not, unless I was watching this every day for a previous high break, I was not. I've been known not to chase things if they already ran up. I always wait for them to come back in. If I missed it, oh well, there's a dozen others I can catch. Again, Bitcoin, let's take a measured move. It's a bigger, steeper measured move. Let's erase my crap first of all. So, where's that monthly chart at? Let's do a measured move. Let's see where we're going with this, because everyone has speculation. I think we followed measured moves, and it was following it to the T. Let's just take the high and the low here, and go measured move on up. Measured move. That's one. This is not exact. 2. You can see where the top was here. 3, didn't mind the third measured move, it just went right through it. 4, you can see where the top was and it consolidated right afterwards. And the measured move is in after the break. So is it going to keep going or is it going to consolidate? I vote for consolidation so we don't go into this this bubble business again. would love to see a double back and then a 1-2 punch through that measured move. It just went right to the T of it. See that? Measured move all the way from the bottom. Easy peasy. It made its measured move after the break. Let's see what happens. Does it take another measured move? I hope it does. But it would be better if it consolidated back and forth, and then pop. 10,000 is not out of the reach here, like everyone was talking about 6 months ago. Ethereum, this is Ethereum to the dollar. It is gaining steam. I was very excited about this to break out here, but I got head faked, and then I got whipsawed, and then now it's higher, low, higher, low. Look for resistance, look for the pop across, looks like 400 and above. Boom, boom. Litecoin, everyone's excited about Litecoin. Looks like it's breaking that head and shoulders top. Not quite, but it's almost there. That left shoulder, head, and then the bearish retracement to make that right shoulder. So I'm not sure if this is ready or not. We have to get above resistance back into the previous lows, stay above previous highs for support. So in other words, to make sure that this isn't a head and shoulders top, I need to get above to the next previous lows. Not too far off. Not too far off at all. EOS is my pick until this thing opens live. And it looks like it's having some trouble. I've been buying it since 2.0. So I guess since I started buying it, it's been going straight down. So that makes a lot of sense. I am going to buy this. I'm not a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. Don't follow my lead. I'm just excited about EOS being the Ethereum killer, as they call it. Anywho's, I got a double bottom on it. See if support holds. It was a nice run up here. I've been accumulating since. I made some money on cryptos on the Polynex market, and I delivered this to Bitfinex for another down payment. So I'm quickly building a nice base on EOS. Dash. That's just because I got plenty of gold and silver, that's all. I want something else to speculate on. So if you don't have physical metals yet, be sure to get that first and then dive into the speculation of this market. Dash is having a little trouble. But I think this is just an extended right shoulder. I think Dash is very competitive in the market, so I don't think it's dead. But I'm working with a double top. Let's clear out my bowl. I got a double top here, right? So we've been working with a double top for a while. It's been coming down. I got support down here on this previous high, right? So it bounced right off of there. Let's see if we hold support this week. Otherwise, watch out below. I don't like the fact on the weekly it broke the 34. So look for a bearish retracement and then a push, a nice volume. You got to have volume to push over resistance. Maybe this was just a hard and fast sling back before they let it rip. But I don't like the fact that it closed below the 34. That means it's changing trend to the downside. I don't like that. But again, I'm working with a double top. See what happens. It's been very volatile in this range. So it could just do this for months. I don't know. Google, do we still have a double top? Yeah, yes. Yes, we do. I think it's going to break. I was very excited that we had a double top here, and I like the fact that it got rejected. So look for Google to come back into support. It's overextended from its averages. It needs to come back into support. It looks like it got rejected. I'm looking at a development on Apple as a head and shoulders top. You can see the left shoulder. You can see how it came down. You can see the thrust for the head, 2-bar reversal back below into resistance got rejected. So we have what we call a head and shoulders top. But we know that head and shoulders tops can be taken out quite easily with volume. But it closed below the previous lows. Not good. Daily close, a spike low into the 8, over the 8, into the 8, over the 13, into the 13, and kind of got stuck right below. It looks like a bearish flag there. Let's see. I don't know. It could take out that left shoulder, no problems. See what happens. Could take out that left shoulder, no problem. See what happens. Amazon, Litecoin. I think that's about it. The usual suspects are in play. Again, watch gold. Make sure we stay above support, above 1300. Look for the very sharp and quick bullish retracings. The right shoulders are in. Very nice bullish moves on silver, closing near its highs. The miners look very good for next week. So keep that in mind. Catch me on Monday morning for a little first hour trading. Just look for the link on the subscriber list. And hopefully you guys have a good weekend. And I'll talk to you on Monday morning. I'll see you.